Mary.
Marry me not on prairie. These words came low and mournfully from the pallid lips of a youthful lady on his dying bed at the close of day. Oh, marry me not on prairie. Yet narrow grave, just 6 by 3. Bury me not on a lone prairie. It matters not. I've often told where the body lies and the heart grows cold. Yet grant, oh grant this wish to me. Bury me not on the lone prairie.
It was September, and there was a town.
Irwin, Tennessee. There was a circus.
Sparks World Famous Shows proudly presents
There was a railroad.
The Clinchfield in Ohio.
There was an elephant.
Mary!
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 And there was a man with red hair.
It was September, and there was a town and a circus.
Charlie Sparks, owner, operator Sparks World Famous Shows. You want to run a circus? Always keep it about the money. Oh, you might have a dream of making a crowd leap to its feet, clamor with one voice, Sparks! 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 But be careful, you're the ringmaster. Dreams aren't for you. Dreams are for rubbernecks. Dreams are for suckers.
Irwin. The town that couldn't remember its own name. True story. It's supposed to be named Urban after some rich fella. Postmaster messed up. Spelled it E-R-W-I-N instead. Nobody remember to fix it. Yeah. That's Irwin.
I lift things. Heavy things. Anything. This gets me on boat. This gets me to America. This gets me to circus.
Never been nowhere. Working Steve shovel down at Urban Rail Yard, digging holes all day. One hole after another. Pepper saver might go to war with the Kaiser. Well, I'll be the first to sign up. Woo-wee! What a patriotic young man! Hell, ain't patriotic. Just bored.
Ballet girl. Ballet girl. Ballet girl. Can't dance. Practically old enough to have a girl of my own, but ballet girl it is. Substitute ballet for show, and I'm not a singer. I'm an artist. I'm not a temptress in tights. I'm a dancer. A ballet girl. That's me, head to toe. Mud. Yellow mud. Everywhere. Boardwalks held some. Enough. Always scraping it off your shoes, enough to drive a person crazy, all that scrape. I buried 2 kids in the mud. That was true. But tried to swallow me up. Swallow this whole town up! God's punishing us for something. Take another flood to watch right.
I finished putting up the Irwin Evergreen Free Will Church in July. Turns out I might have been a bit optimistic about how many rows of peas I needed. Love, forgiveness, joy, I'll keep on testifying, but there's nothing lonelier than a New Testament preacher in an Old Testament town.
It's love. Feed her, sleep with her, wash her. Hell, at the end of the day, I even have a drink with her. We pour some whiskey in her bucket, mix it with some water. She loves it. She sticks her trunk in, it's gone in a minute. I'm lucky. They live a long time. If you play
small friends, I guess. Play with my brother Eli, skip stones at Trey, Green, Tarzan, but he is my favorite. He's something. Read a rock full band gives me the best dreams.
Yeah. Kids laugh, easy peasy. And we Joeys give kids more than laughs. You know, we give them perspective. You know, a lesson to carry on forever. B, that there's always someone more worse off than you. Except for us. Nothing below a clown. We all pull rank, even the ballet girls. We're the last ones to get to the makeup mirror, even though we wear the most makeup. Nothing? At all? Golly. Let me put it this way. How many ringmasters does it take to change a light bulb? None. They tell the clowns to go do it.
Arwen, rising taller every year. Best this country has to offer. Peaceful. Keep it that way. Folks around here, honest, law-abiding. Ain't the folks around here I worry about, it's the strangers. It's that damn train station.
All the traveling from town to town, all the firing, hiring, me. Firing happens all the time. Fella's lucky. He gets fired on the town starting to stop. Fella's unlucky. He gets red lighted. Toss off our train while it's moving. Sucker don't see nothing but the red lights of the caboose as it fades away. And hiring. Yeah. I do a lot of that too. Circus needs plenty of muscle, and not just in the ring. Townies get out of line every now and then. Want to prove they're tougher than a strong man. Get fresh with a ballet girl. Sparks sees any funny business, he calls the hey Rube. I gotta teach every new hire. They hear that hey Rube, they drop whatever they're doing and defend their own.
It was September, and there was a town, and a circus, and a railroad.
The railroad invented time in America. We came along and told this country we have a schedule to keep. Time is not relative, time is precise. Time is not gray, it is black and white. The circus, Irwin, they have our guarantee. You can depend on the railroad.
It was September and there was a town.
There was a circus.
There was a railroad.
There was an elephant
Mary.
we dreamed of before we saw her.
Plastered on every telephone pole.
Every fence post.
Every barn door.
September.
The circus was coming.
She was coming.
To our muddy town. It was all there in black and white.
And color.
It's sad.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Sparks, world famous shows proudly presents the show that never broke a promise.
Moral, entertaining, instructive.
25 years of honest dealing with the public.
Proudly presents a tremendous exhibition of wealth and splendor.
All new for 1916.
Mary, the largest living land animal on earth.
Death-defying feats of skill and daring.
Mary, over 5 tons.
2 packs of man killing lions.
Mary, 3 inches taller than Jumbo.
5,000 seats.
Mary, guaranteed at every performance.
Free street parade each day at noon.
Mary!
Mary.
Mary!
Mary.
Mary.
Mary, 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 Mary. Elephant is an investment. You open up your pocketbook, you throw down the 8 grand, you don't think about it again. Simple. You've got the trained seals, the trapeze, the strongman. Fine. They are bread and butter. No rubberneck comes to a circus doesn't have an elephant. Strike that. No rubberneck comes to a circus doesn't have a big elephant.
They love a parade. It's all elephants do in the wild anyways, walk. They follow the leader, and the leader's the biggest female. And I got no reason to mess with that here, so they all follow behind Mary. Shadrach, Penny, Sue, little Mabel, trunk wrapped around the tail of the one in front of her. Let me tell you, the only thing better than seeing an elephant parade is being in one. And the only thing better than being in an elephant parade is leading it. I mean, it's a dream. On top of my own personal mountain, little shorty. On top of the world. On top of Mary. Head in the clouds.
Impressive, no? No? So tell me, I do not cost as much. I'm not as temperamental. I do not relieve myself on stage. So tell me, please, have the courage to inform me. Why is that elephant the star of the show?
Once I'm decreed so, nothing more than about it. Then I add the elephant. 5 tons of gray flesh bury me half naked into the ring, wrapped up tightly in her trunk. Oh, I'm never as powerful, sensual, dangerous as when I'm with Mary. Keep your spangles, your makeup, your headdresses. Diamonds. Diamonds are nothing. An elephant is a girl's best friend.
They're the hardest workers I got. They load and unload the boxcars, push up the tent poles. Those Tuskers can do anything.
Nah, nobody looks down on the elephants, right? I mean, they don't have to go put on makeup and play the dope to get applause. I mean, they're just too mighty to ever be made humble, too strong to ever be broken, too big to ever be laid low. And Mary, she's the biggest we Joey's ever seen, so we love her the most.
Listen, an elephant ain't cute. In a friend, in a symbol for something else. An elephant is an elephant, and an elephant is an investment.
So there was a town, and there was a circus, and there was a railroad, and there was an elephant, and there was oh, last but not least, there was a man with red hair.
Lou, who walks into my boxcar, tells me I got myself a new roommate. But I tell him it's crowded enough in here with 5 elephants. But it's this goofy-looking red-haired guy, and he insists. So I show Red his corner. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. He gripes about the smell. I tell him to suck it up. Townies, they think elephants smell bad in the rain, but try sleeping with one in a boxcar. He shuts up when he sees Mary like she's the answer to her prayers. I don't know what's wrong with the guy, if he's a nut or soft in the head or what, but I'm not going to turn my back on him. I mean, I may be small, but Red makes one wrong move and he's getting the red light.
Click, clack, through the night. Everyone is waiting and we will not disappoint. You can depend on the railroad.
Dig, 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 dig. Train, whistle, elephant, circus.
Eli woke me up at 4 a.m. I cussed him out, thought we was going to be late. Picked dinner up, folks still sleeping. Snuck out the window, ran as fast as we could to the field where they do it. We were all there, all the kids of Irwin, there to watch him set up the big top. The greatest big show on earth. Train whistled, break screamed, man and animals stomped out of every door. Everybody marched around, seemed to know what they was doing. Except this redhead guy kept bumping into stuff and tripping over rope. People yelling at him and his face turned as red as his hair. Then the elephant came out. I about peed myself. Oh, I made this big trumpet. We about peed ourselves. The man along the main tent pole and set it right between our thing's eyes as it walked That and the parade. Was really looking forward to that parade.
About 9 a.m., Ringmaster cleared the route with me. Told me to keep the horses away, could spook the elephants. Yes, sir, whatever you want, sir. Main Street will hold its horses. Hell, not enough. I gotta let the circus come to town and pick the pockets of all of us. I gotta roll out the red carpet for them while they do it.
I taught Red how to feed her and groom her. That's it. That is all he knew how to do. But Lou, he walks in and says,
Big deal, Shorty. Ray wants to ride Mary to the march. Back off and give the new guy a chance.
I should have said no. I should have told him she is mine.
She didn't say nothing.
But I didn't say nothing, just stepped aside, maybe made a face. That was my big protest. The face.
The kisser on that girl.
It's trust. Love. Trust you build up over years, not one day, every bath, every peanut, every pat on the trunk. It's trust. Love. But Red didn't have time for that. Red had a parade to lead.
Shorty's on Shadrach, but she still has to make the call. Won't start walking for anyone but her.
Trunks up!
I opened up the doors to the church and the steps were full of people, faces I've never seen before. I was fixing to thank Jesus for answering my prayers. People weren't trying to get in though. Steps were just the best place to face out, to watch the parade, provided a little bit of hype. Whole town was there, all lining the street, white, colored, man, woman, child, glowing their faces waiting to see a miracle. Well, if I couldn't provide that miracle on Sundays, at least there was something I could.
Right on Main Street. Our Main Street.
Have the day off from the shovel. Everybody had the day off. Circus day.
Eli and I about paid ourselves.
Elephants, clowns, tigers all mucking down our Main Street through our yellow mud.
Made everyone look like something for once.
Could hear the brass band and the bass drum for miles.
Elephant had Irwin mud all over it.
Made our yellow town going all purple and silver red.
That elephant was leading the whole thing. And that goofy guy, red hair, he was up on her back. Mary, 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 Mary.
And then? Well, then the dominoes start to fall. Elephant sees Melon. Elephant walks toward Melon. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant Rider encourages Elephant to abandon Melon. Elephant ignores Elephant Rider. Elephant Rider most instances to the tune of Elephant Hook across Elephant Head. Elephant keeps walking toward Melon. Elephant holds up parade. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant Rider breaks Elephant Hook across Elephant Tusk. Elephant thinks. Elephant decides she's had enough of Elephant Rider. Elephant picks Elephant Rider off Elephant back with Elephant Trunk. Elephant Trunk throws Elephant Rider into Soda Pop Stand. Elephant Rider groans and rolls. Elephant Rider thinks it's over. Elephant Rider is wrong. Elephant walks over to Elephant Rider and puts Elephant Foot on Elephant Rider's head. Elephant Rider screams. Elephant Foot steps on down. Elephant Rider's head explodes like a melon. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant walks away. Elephant Rider don't. Elephant, free of Elephant Rider, strolls on over and helps herself to Sipna. Simple. Parade stops, man dies, elephant turns killer. All for a melon.
Somebody screamed, Chelsea ran off in a panic, couldn't do nothing but stand there, hold my empty popgun, and that thing kept eating the melon, ripping apart its little snack, while that poor man's crushed head sat next to it, all opened up and leaking. The ringmaster ran up and told me we'll
couldn't stop looking at blood.
Crap.
Town's cursing.
No one.
Heard that fellow was from Kingsport.
Eli thought he knew it.
Been any of us. No one.
Carl said that she killed 2 people in Virginia.
7 men.
18.
Right on Main Street.
She can't do that, can she? Just go around killing people like that?
On Main Street. Tarzan would have stopped her. Tarzan would have jumped on her back and stabbed her to the eyes and gouged out her brain.
On Main Street.
Eye for an eye. Eye for an eye. Maybe God will stop punishing us.
On Main Street.
Tarzan would have stopped her. Tarzan would have stopped
Do that, can
her.
you? Can't just do that, can you? On Main Street. Right on Main Street. On Main Street. Right on Main Street. On Main Street.
There. But that wouldn't have been right. That wouldn't have been justice. Maybe my pistol didn't mean squat to that thing, but damn it, we'd find something that would. It wasn't walking away from this. Irwin don't look kindly upon murderers.
Crowd picks up and follows the marshal to the saloon. I stand in the doorway, hear talk, lots of talk. Talk about public menace. Talk about what you do with rabid dogs. Talk about what's right and wrong.
I stared at the steps, the empty steps, and I walked into the church and I let the door swing shut behind me.
I tried to get in touch with Fred's family, friends. Didn't have none.
Like he didn't exist except for us. Like he was born to do nothing but cause trouble.
He was weak, did not understand. You were on top of her, but she is strong with, not you.
A few of us Joeys buried him and said a few words.
You still have a show to do that night. Must go on. Doors!
I told Charlie, maybe we should keep Mary out. Maybe the people forget. But he told me what I already knew.
They won't forget. I'm coming to see the circus. Coming to see the killer.
He was right. It would have been alright if we kept her away.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Sparks, world famous shows proudly presents.
Normal night, we played up the danger, talked up the toothless tiger. Not this time. Ballet girl brought out Mary like she was the most innocent of God's creatures.
Look at me, all of you, wrapped up tightly in the thing that did the deed. Am I scared? Am I trembling? I'm smiling. I'm smiling.
But it didn't work. Those people weren't there to forgive. They stood up and pelted her with popcorn, and then they made this sound.
Listen to that. It comes true. Your dream comes true in a tiny town in Tennessee. Crowd leaps to its feet, speaks with one voice, shakes the air, makes it tremble. Charge not to Sparks, Sparks you dreamed of, but oh, how they scream till their lungs ache, louder than any lion's roar. Young and old united in one glorious moment of certainty. Kill it, kill it, kill it.
Louder! The boss started waving us all around. Everyone is screaming, setting conversation. Take notice. Irwin, don't give you no vote. You have to keep your mouth shut. Then the clowns started talking. Didn't know clowns could talk.
No, guys! Red was one of us, part of the circus. He knew the rest.
The smell guy came out. No, you all saw him hanging around the dust big hole with his food. He's got to the house. The boss wanted information stood up.
These parties can talk all they want. We know what we see, and the people are in demand.
No, we don't. I'm cursing on those who know not. The people are not.
We know what we see, and the people are in demand justice.
Louder, that's a strong man started slapping his photos and screaming at the ringmaster.
Call it, Sparks! Call the heavy! Call it, Sparks!
The ringmaster, kill it,
And who's your giant to the tire? Over there, running over the stronger! I'll crush them all! Call it, Sparks! Call the heavy! Call it, Sparks!
And everything went quiet.
Now $8,000 is a lot to lose. A lot to lose in a hick town in the middle of nowhere. But investments get trickier when the people want blood. Because it's not just Irwin. Your advance men wire back from your upcoming stops. Johnson City, Rogersville, Indian Ridge. Your circus isn't welcome until that elephant is taken care of. So, is she still worth 8,000? Is she still worth anything at all? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the circus understands. The circus understands your wishes. This merry matter will be settled to your liking tomorrow, and we are open to suggestions.
Well, the marshal knew shooting it with a pistol hadn't worked. So they talked about getting a cannon, a Civil War cannon from a nearby museum. Talked about electrocuting it. Frying it like some of them had seen in a moving picture Thomas Edison made. But that was copycat stuff. That wasn't dreaming big enough. We had the answer. We always have the answer. The rail yard. There's a crane there that can lift about 100 tons. Says so on the side of it, black and white. Nothing gray can stand up to that much black and white. Something like that could do something special. Something like that could hang her. Hang her like any other murderer. She may be big, but the rail yard crane's bigger. Crane will get the job done. Crane will do the trick. Hey, crane's the railroad after all. You can always depend on the railroad.
Hanging suits me fine, I guess. Still think the cannon would be better.
Hey, eye for an eye, and Irwin will finally be clean.
I would never believe it. Irwin is the place to be tomorrow. Ain't nobody else, I ain't nobody. Ain't nobody in this world hanging an elephant tomorrow. So that's something. That's something we got. Want to see? Get off your fat butt and come here for a change.
So now, Louis Barr, they need my help? What am I supposed to do? Leave and let them figure it out themselves? No? I stay, 'cause if I don't, they'll just mess it up. They'll make it even worse of a spectacle. Louis Barrs are happy this is my answer. They smile and open their mouths, but I stop them. I tell them, don't you think I've forgiven you? Don't you think that I will never forgive you? But I tell them, go ahead. What's your question? They asked me how to get Mary out there tomorrow. How to get her past all those people without all hell breaking loose. So I think and I tell them. Tuskers are not stupid. They know when something's up. So you gotta make them think it's like any other march. They all gotta go out there. Mary cannot go out there alone. Shadrach, Penny, Sue, Little Mabel, all of them. Truck wrapped around the tail, the one in front of her. Just like always. Just like every other parade. Then what? Then this. Somebody's got to chain Mary's foot to the track under the crane so she can't move. And then Lou, you got to get the rest of them out of there fast before they smell the panic on her. And then somebody's got to crawl up her back and tie the hanging chain around her neck. So much she knows. So much she trusts. They look at me like I'm crazy, but I tell them to relax. I tell them I'll do it.
You don't sleep that night. You think. You wish you could charge admission tomorrow, but this isn't your show. It's theirs.
Well, morning finally came. Couldn't help but feel it. There was a spark in me. Put on my brand new shoes, wanted to lift my bed.
Ma told us not to go, but Eli and me, we was going.
I got to the railroad track, saw I wasn't the only one gussied up.
I want to bear witness to see the glow.
Men in the only suits they own. Women in their Sunday best, prancing around with parasols like it was Easter.
Never been so proud.
Oh my, seemed like all of Tennessee.
Quite a sight.
People rising up out of the mud, standing on top of boxcars, cranes, coal tables,
Was sitting in the chamomile steam shovel, best seat in the house.
picnic baskets, food, punch.
We were doing it upright.
Everybody was sharing with everybody else.
I kept it to myself.
Laughing, dancing.
The glow was brighter than the sun.
All the kids were play acting what was going to happen.
Eli and I about peed ourselves.
Saw some named drink.
I saw Carl and them having a good old time down there behind the caboose.
I took that bottle right out of their hands and I smashed it on the railroad tracks. They looked at me like I was crazy, but I knew it was wrong. Wrong to sully the act with liquor.
It was gonna be something.
Act had to be pure, clean.
Couldn't take it no more.
Feel it. We were ready.
You wait for the signal from John at Tin Plate. Tell Shorty to go ahead.
Trunks up!
The killer was in front. Them elephants marched on holding each other's tails with the trunks like a parade or line of boxcars.
Why the hell did they bring those other ones out?
They marched onto the rail yard up to the crane and the Shorty chained the killer's foot to a train track.
Now, Lou! Now!
I grabbed Shadrach.
Then the elephants started making this sound like they knew once they left, the big one was gonna get it. Get them out, Lou! Real funny sound. No! Sound human. Lord. Like 20, 30 men full out moaning at the same time.
Come on, come on.
Eli and me plugged our fingers,
Finally got Shadrach the rest of the backside.
Finally.
took our fingers out. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Ready? Showtime, sweetie.
Shorty ran up and back.
Women were hiding their faces or pretending to.
We was afraid she was gonna pick her up with her trunk like she did that redhead fella.
But she didn't seem spooked at all. Shorty ran up, Shorty chained hooked the chain around her neck, patted her back, and stood up.
Shorty ran off as she was alone.
Mud all in the folds of her skin.
She looked scary.
Helpless.
Confused.
Guilty.
Like a killer.
Like a queen.
Mom, she looked at the engineer.
Time. The railroad controls time. I made it stand still. The masses waited below with held breath to see if it was possible, if the railroad could actually kill their elephant dead for them. I smiled. A reassuring smile. You can depend on the railroad. Placed my hand on the hanging lever. I gripped it hard, paced in the silent seconds, knowing that this part, the before part, well, that would be the best part of all. And then I threw the lever, and time started back up again. And the crane groaned, gears grinding, and
Damn, if that thing don't lift off the ground, an elephant for Pete's sake.
She rose up steady until she was on her hind legs. Toenails scraping the railroad tracks. Tiptoe like she was doing a trick.
Well, we started clapping, and I flashed a big smile down at Carl then. Because they bet me there was no way in hell that elephant was ever leaving Mother Earth.
But then we started wondering why that thing wasn't going any higher up.
Gear sounded stuck.
I got to thinking maybe it could have lifted her. Maybe a 100-ton crane could lift 100-ton metal, but couldn't lift a 5-ton animal. Maybe her soul was too heavy. Maybe her soul was as heavy as the rest of her.
But that wasn't it.
well, it wasn't the crane. The crane could lift her. The crane could lift her just fine.
It was a people problem, not a crane problem. People don't always remember so good. Even a big crowd of people. Even thousands of people. People tend not to remember the little details when they got an elephant hanging in front of them. And nobody did. Nobody remembered to unhook her. Nobody remembered she was still chained to the railroad track. Her foot was still chained to the track.
Well, they were ripping her in half a bit. Her leg bent at this weird angle. Her leg holding her down to the ground while the rest of her was headed up.
She broke a leg. Just a bone about as big as my whole body. I felt it in my spine. My spine kind of buckled, ached, and sympathy rang like a tuning fork.
Eli started crying.
Should have let then, I suppose.
Eli ran off.
But I stayed. Stayed to see him unhook her foot, lift her up. To see her trunk flailing about, jerking around every which way. Stabbing the air like crazy, trying to grab hold of something.
Hey, she was nearly gone then, or would have been soon.
No.
That is, if the chain hadn't broken.
Crane. Crane could lift it. Crane could lift it just fine.
Mistake number 2. There was a chain problem, not a crane problem. Chain around her neck couldn't handle all that weight. Weakest link, right?
Chain popped off. She came crashing down with a sound like an oak tree cracking in half.
Broke her hip, and the fight kind of went out of her. She couldn't seem to move. Off the side.
It was loose.
Scream! That little guy clapped her before. Started screaming like she was the one who went up there. She yelled at somebody, and they had her thickly kicked. And I couldn't believe it, but she went up her back again. Christ. She went up, hooked her again, and ran off.
Nobody clapped this time. It didn't seem. In fact, some of the people started leaving. Some of the women leading their kids off anyway. But most of them stayed. I stayed. Stuck it out this far, I figured so.
So, Crane lifted it off its feet again. Higher.
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 Then it made some noises. Some air kind of puffed out its trunk. And that was it.
I let my breath out. I breathed in, waiting for that sanctified air, waiting to be made clean, pure. But the air tasted no different. It was flat and stale and rank. Nothing for nothing. Look at me.
That crane hanging over for 20 minutes longer than they had to. Our news is waiting for her to let them smell of break free. Something that big could attack it. Something that full of life. She was long gone. History. I guess I might need some downs after all.
Look at that thing swing! There are people in this here country that'll tell you that we become a small nation. A nation of little people with little dreams, staring at the ground instead of the stars. Well, look at what we done did here today, and then tell me this country's dying. Look at what happened here today in Irwin, and then tell me there ain't no more dreamers. We hung an elephant today, a damn elephant. We made the impossible possible. So pack up your grip and go if you don't love this country. If you can't see the glory that surrounds you. If you want to stay in the mud, because this is America, damn it! And we can do anything we dream of, anything at all.
It dangles her effortlessly, taunting me. I can never lift her up like that. I can never lift her. I tried once just to see, but I couldn't do it. Not to any of them. Even little Mabel, even the baby. But there she is, swept off her feet. Our star. But that, it mocks me. It mocks me! It mocks me!
We forgot about the rest of them. Everybody did, but once that crane set that poor beast down on the ground, her sisters came lumbering back into the yard, quiet, reverential, moving past the thousands gathered around like we were invisible, marched right up to Mary, opened their mouths, and their prayers didn't make a sound, but the air felt like it was moving, like it was trembling. Them elephants pet that Mary with their trunks like they were caressing her, calming her spirit, soothing her soul, paying their respects. Little Shorty came mourners, whispered something in one of those huge ears, patted her back, and led her off. Elephants grabbing the tail of whoever was in front of them, walking off in a funeral procession. I fell into it. Brought up the view. Best be getting home, gather my notes. Flo was gone, but I had a feeling it'd be crowded on Sunday.
I'm redlining myself. I'll move away, work at a zoo, it don't really matter. One day I'll die, and that'll be it. It's your show now, Shad. My spark's out.
Ma gave us a real switch for that night. Wasn't the worst part though. The worst part was the dreams.
Johnson said it was in 2 days. We be ready.
Elephants got those big brains, like traps. Don't forget nothing. Oh, it's peanuts to eat, maybe. People got short memories. Let go of a memory just as soon as you give it to them. But not me. I eat peanuts. Stops it all from blurring together. All them colored boys that out to the yard must blur together something fierce. Because nobody ever talks about how they hung colored boys in Irwin. They just talk about how they hung in Elwood. Damnedest thing. Damnedest thing. Tina?
Why? Why did the elephant cross the road? What did the banana say to the elephant? How can you tell if an elephant is sleeping? Why did the elephant quit the circus? How do you make an elephant disappear?
Hey! Hey! Big mud. Heart very small, much less I got the steam shovel. I can dig the hole. You hear? I can dig the hole. Hey! Hey! That's what we got machines for the first place, huh? Help people? Make it all easier? What? What? I can dig a hole. I can dig a hole.
It was September, and there was a town. There was a circus. There was a railroad. There was a man with red hair. And there was an elephant. There was an elephant. An elephant. You pack up the tent. You load up the boxcars. You wait. You wait. After midnight, after the townsfolk have gone home, safe and asleep in their beds, sleeping with the certainty that their boogie monster is dead, good and dead, that they can get on with their stupid, worthless lives, in their stupid, worthless town, in their stupid, worthless! You wake up the clowns. You wake up the clowns and you put the shovels back in their hands. You put the shovels back in their hands and you tell them to dig her up! You tell them to dig her up and you tell them to saw off her tusks! You tell them to saw off her tusks and you tell them to bring them to you. You have to see what you can salvage, what you can get for them, for the ivory, for the tusks. An elephant is an investment.